Well guys, Bungie has finally done it. After years of begging from the community, Thorn finally received its catalyst, as well as a rework to the weapon that now overflows its magazine up to 40 rounds on remnant pickups. This update, paired with multiple seasons of both hand cannon and exotic weapon buffs, has made Thorn an absolute monster in PvE. It now rivals the likes of Osteo Striga, especially after the recent nerfs to its poison damage this season, making Thorn a new competitor for best in slot. I'm Above, and if you enjoyed today's video, a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated. Now, let's get into it. First things first, Thorn received a buff that is separate from the addition of its catalyst. The base weapon now overflows the magazine on Soul Remnant pickups, as I mentioned earlier, which means we'll not only get that 200% poison damage increase from Soul Devourer, you'll also add 4 rounds to the magazine each time you pick up a remnant, up to a maximum of 40 in the mag. What's cool about this is the fact that once you get this perk rolling, you'll almost never have to reload. During the opening seasonal mission, I actually don't think I reloaded a single time. This perk can be refreshed infinitely, which means you have a permanent increase to your poison damage while never having to reload. An extremely powerful combo. And though you don't need the catalyst to make this weapon shine, it does provide a base increase of 20 range and 10 stability, while also providing bonus range, stability, and mobility each time you pick up a Soul Remnant. It appears that the catalyst drops from the competitive Crucible playlist, so feel free to go grind it out if your soul desires. I'm sorry. Thorn just feels incredible to use now, and no longer relies on the necrotic grips to shine. I would definitely put Thorn in the same conversation as Osteo Striga, especially after the nerfs to Osteo that brought its poison damage in line with Thorn. Just as Sunshot saw a massive spike in use last season, I fully expect Thorn to be a popular pick in endgame content during Season of the Wish. This weapon is not only outstanding for ad clear, it'll also be useful against champions thanks to the unstoppable hand cannon mod from the artifact this season, and as you can see here, it can absolutely melt champions on its own. As for builds, let's get the obvious one out of the way first. The necrotic grips are an exotic gauntlet for warlocks that have paired with Thorn for a very long time now. In fact, I made a video covering this exotic pairing all the way back during Beyond Light's release, just to give you an idea. The exotic perk states that damaging a combatant poisons them, dealing increased damage over time. Defeating a poison combatant will then spread the poison to nearby enemies. Now normally, this exotic perk relies on melees to proc, but since Thorn also deals poison damage, it will actually just spread the poison inflicted by Thorn on kill. This helps create additional remnants and takes Thorn from what is normally a single target weapon and gives it AoE ad clear. At base, Thorn's poison damage hits for 702 per tick, and with Soul Devourer procced, this number triples to 2106. And while this is happening, if you kill a nearby enemy, the necrotic grip's poison will stack on top of this, ramping up significant poison damage over a 9-second duration. The other build I want to highlight revolves around the Lucky Pants for our hunters, where a legally modded holster progressively increases your damage when shooting a target with a hand cannon, capping out at a 600% damage buff at maximum stacks. This ramps the base damage of Thorn from 6,115 on Carl all the way up to 39,113 at the ×10 bonus. This takes Thorn from just an ad clear weapon and turns it into an absolute beast against majors and champions. Though this perk doesn't increase Thorn's poison damage, you'll still be melting targets no problem. Not to mention the fact that your magazine will almost always be overflowed thanks to the Soul Remnants, which makes this gameplay loop incredibly easy to take advantage of. I couldn't think of a Titan exotic that benefits Thorn specifically, but if you guys have any build recommendations for our Titans, definitely feel free to let me know down in the comments below. To take these quick build recommendations a step further without going into too much detail, I recommend running Kinetic Siphon to produce Orbs of Power on Thorn Final Blows, and Kinetic Surge on your boots to consistently increase your Thorn damage even further. You'll be producing orbs like crazy, so you should have this up at almost all times. Powerful Attraction will then make it easy to pick these orbs up each time you use your class ability, which makes this gameplay loop even better. And since Thorn is an exotic primary, you'll also benefit more from heavy ammo finders than any other weapon type, which will be especially nice for the new dungeon launching this Friday. Well guys, that's gonna do it for the video. Kind of a quick one today, but I hope you enjoyed this updated Thorn review nonetheless. This weapon has taken a massive step forward in endgame content viability, and I definitely recommend giving it a try if you haven't already. If you enjoyed this video, a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated, and you can catch me live over on Twitch this week at twitch.tv/above, where I'll be testing all of the artifact mods, running the new dungeon with my community, and enjoying the new seasonal content all week long. Anyways, that's it from me. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace!